EA Sports. It's in the game.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Boston Championship.
Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. We're at the TPC Boston in Massachusetts. Frank, this is a really good-looking golf course.
Fun golf course too, Rich. Starts off with a relatively soft par 4, not very long, and then, of course, the fourth hole. You remember that on TV. It's a drivable par 4. 5, really, this beautiful dogleg left par 4. I think it's one of the prettiest holes on the golf course. Reminds me of Sunningdale in England. 7's a par 5. 2 good hits, you might be able to get home. Don't talk about the 9th to Phil Mickelson. Never really likes that hole at all. He's made a mess of it over the years. Good finish there at 18, but really, if you want to look at maybe a tough stretch in the back 9, 13, 14, if you make a couple of pars through there, then you've done well. Nice.
Looks good.
Good contact, good result.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, that's a formality now.
With that birdie, now at 1 under par for the tournament.
Here at the par 5 second hole,
Just over 540 yards, Frank.
Yeah, keep it to the left of those bunkers. You can play it as a 3-shotter if you're not too ambitious. But, well, why not sort of dangle the little hook out there and have a go at it for 2?
Really good play off the tee, at least 300 yards and in the fairway.
Second shot. This one's going left, Rich.
Not knocking down the flagstick here, but looks as though it will find the green.
That was just a gutsy shot right there, and a good look at eagle coming up. This one just requires a little bit of focus. I don't know, maybe lifted right there, just sort of peaked. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. One under early in the round. Frank, you've talked about this sort of New England feel they gave this golf course when they remodeled it. This is a pretty good example here at the third hole.
Yeah, that stone wall behind just sort of makes the golf course look like it's been there forever. They have tweaked the green a little bit on that left side, created a little bit of a ridge. You can sort of play the ball off that if you know where you're going.
Well, that's how you play the game, right there. A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. Frank, the good players continue to play good golf, even if they're not winning or in the top 5.
Yeah, that position's starting to look a little brighter than what it was at the beginning of the day. Now in the top 25.
Like the looks of this one.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
That is tasty looking right there from just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from that. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either.
That might go unnoticed, Rich, but that birdie just sneak inside the top 15.
So that concludes round 1. Frank, what's the mindset after this first day?
Well, the important thing is just try and play smart, get a feel for the golf course. That's what you try and do on the opening round. And now that the players have seen it, we should see some better scores tomorrow.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Boston Championship.
Beautiful day here at the TPC Boston in Norton, Massachusetts. This is the site of the Deutsche Bank Championship, part of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Rich Loader alongside Frank Nobilo.
And a fun golf course in front of us today, too. Really carved out of this wonderful New England landscape. 92 bunkers adorn the golf course, and, well, we are in New England, so you'd expect a little bit of weather. We might get a little bit of rain, maybe a little bit of wind, but golf course built and certainly plays well in any condition.
That's well played. Now a good look at birdie. Birdie try again here today. Had a nice birdie on this hole yesterday.
Now putt for par.
Settles in over the putt. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Frank, they renovated the par 5 second back in 2010. What'd they do to the hole, and how does it play now?
Well, they changed the green, especially the left side. There's a huge mound there now. It's still a driver off the tee, but before you could bail out on the left side, you can't bail out anymore. It's a devilish of a chip over that mound.
Those chocolate drop mounds give the course a really nice look.
Yeah, they just pop. And you can see them, and you know that they're problematic.
Wow, Frank, look at that one run out. Just blistered that tee shot.
Well, that has to be 325 if it's an inch.
This is a good-looking shot. Crucial eagle attempt on the way. This is a good-sized putt, 27 feet away. Kind of a tricky read. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Oh my goodness, he just missed that. And that was almost tap-in distance. Has this to save par. Tough game, Frank. You can hit 300-yard drives and miss 3-foot putts.
Yeah, there's the ecstasy, and that's the agony. Even par, currently.
Continues to roll it very well all day long. Hole number 3 here at TPC Boston. It is a par 3. Frank, are you happy walking off with par here?
Well, if you've birdied the first 2 holes, there's a chance here to be greedy.
Well, you can hear it right off the center of the club face. This has a chance to be close. That was like Usain Bolt, Frank, right through the tape.
Yeah, that first step, that was never going to stop.
Well, at last, a birdie. Frank, at 298 yards, the 4th is reachable for just about every professional. What might scare them off?
Well, that bunker on the left, that's really actually a chance to showcase your skills. And that's where you realize how much better professional golfers are. A good bunker play, especially on a hole like 4, and then you will get well rewarded.
This is a great place for a fan to watch, isn't it?
It is. You see so many different short shots around this green. The bunker shots from the left side, if you hit it over the back on the right, the little bump and run through the little valley in the green. Fun hole to watch.
Perfectly placed tee shot will set up an eagle opportunity, but then you see quite a few bogeys made here as well.
Yeah, if you stray a little bit, leave the ball too far short, then you have to play that pitch across the bunker. That's no fun.
Really in control of this hole. Birdie yesterday and another opportunity on the way. You get the sense now with that birdie that our young star, so explosive, is setting himself up for a big weekend run. So for Frank Nobilo and all of us here at EA Sports, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Boston Championship.
We're here at TPC Boston in Massachusetts. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, set to bring you all of the action. And Frank, how does this course set up for the golfers out here today?
Well, Gil Hands and Brad Faxon, they did a lot of changes a few years back to sort of open up some of the driving areas. Consequently, you see there's a little bit more of a reward for the longer hitters. Fairways aren't really as tight as what you'll see on some other golf courses. Long and straight certainly gives you a big advantage at TPC Boston.
This is host of the Deutsche Bank Championship. That's a tournament that is part of the FedEx Cup playoffs.
So from the rough back to the fairway, that's the right way to go.
Yeah, didn't take the bait, and at least now he's only going to play the price of a poor tee shot. Still got a good chance, though, getting away with par. Another good swing, another good approach shot. It's at sneaky distance.
Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
So another bogey on the scorecard. And Frank, what happened this week?
I think it's a week to forget, Rich.
Coverage continues at EA Sports. Let's go out now to our featured golfer at the 13th.
Coming unglued here late in the third round. This is tough to watch.
Yeah, get the staple gun out. Somehow try and pin things back together. I think it'll be too late, though.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
This won't hurt him, Frank.
Just a little left of the flag. That's fine.
Knocks it up on the green. It is about 28 feet away from the hole. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie.
How does that not go in?
Amazing. Stroke looked good. Line looked good. Just did not take that final break.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
Been a little too much of that, Frank, just sort of ho-hum pars.
Back here at the par 4 14th, ready to tee off. This is a big dog leg to the left, 495-yard hole, Frank.
Yeah, don't try and hug that left side too much. There's a bunch of little mounds, and the chances of getting a good lie there, next to none. Oh, I liked that.
That was just a beautiful drive. He hit it solid and right in the middle. Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. Well, too bad, Frank. That one rolled right off the green.
It was just coming out so hot.
He'll need to be strong with this. How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game.
These putts keep the round together. Well, the time is now to start making birdies, and there we go. One on the board, and suddenly inside the top 20.
Yeah, nothing to be ashamed of in that, but really, you've got to be aggressive from here on in.
Good contact, good result. Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself, and it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But if down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
Goes to 6 under par for the tournament. What a display of golf. So through 3 rounds, just outside the top 10, what kind of a chance do you give a player who is sitting outside the first 10?
Yeah, it's slim. I certainly would not say none, though, Rich. You know, we've countless times over the years seen someone post an early one in and watch the leaders crumble at the end. Good opportunity tomorrow. Put a good round on the board and then just sit back and wait. And then remember, there's also the chance of a playoff.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Boston Championship.
Beautiful looking shot right here. That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Nice position, short grass, second shot. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. That one was running so hot. Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
How about that shot right there from that lie in the rough to knock it that close? That's good.
Chance for back-to-back. Can't birdie them all, Rich.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
He'll take par and move on. Now at the par 4 15th, what do you think of this hole, Frank?
Oh, I love the strategy involved here. It's not just necessarily a driver off the tee. Smart play often comes on top here because it's a second shot hole. Ooh, nice little bounce forward. Should be close to 300, 290.
Second shot. Good look at the green. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
And it is in.
Amazing. Amazing.
Settled over the ball here at the 15th, 421 yards on this par 4.
Uphill, you can see everything that you have to avoid. Find the green grass in between. Oh, nice strike, Rich. Not quite directly in line with the flag.
Just drifting a bit to the right, but he'll settle. Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. Oh my gosh, that hurts. Oh man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just a couple of feet. Not a problem from there, right in the middle. Frank, the 17th here at TPC Boston underwent quite a radical change.
Yeah, that renovation and that redesign that they did, it changed the character of the hole, but they still kept that big mound in the middle of the green. So that second shot is still punishing if you misjudge it.
And players nursing a lead, they might want to think about playing it safe down the right side, but if you're trying to make up some ground, you could try to fly the church pews that divide the fairway into two sections, and that would give you a nice short wedge in.
Yeah, give you a short wedge in, but really the risk, is it worth it?
And now it's right in his wheelhouse, good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. With that ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
This is a good-looking shot. That is a beauty, a real beauty. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Makes it right in the center. On to the 18th and a big par 5 to finish out the round.
Yeah, fun way. Let's see, course record 61. What can you do here?
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. And that one rolls just into the rough.
Now you have to decide whether or not that ball's going to fly or not.
Frank, you always talk about it. Don't compound the mistakes. Well, here we are, another shot from the rough.
And this one, no easier than the one he's just hit.
Well, that's what separates the good players from the great players, the ability to get it that close from that kind of lie.
Settles in over the putt. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time, that one gets him in the top 10.
Frank, it was a great setting with great crowds. We saw plenty of very good golf. Your thoughts?
I think the course really extracted some of the golf that we saw. It forced these players to play just some great golf. And it wasn't just like a pitch and a putt golf course. So I think seeing the guys tested, seeing the players tested at this level, it was a treat.
EA Sports is proud to present PGA Tour coverage.
Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo set to call all the action here at the Wells Fargo Championship. We are at Quail Hollow, and Frank, it is really one of the best courses on tour.
It is a great state of North Carolina where Donna Ross developed so many great courses. They're the sort of courses that we're used to seeing, but this is a relatively new golf course. First opened up in 1961, but it certainly fits in with the North Carolina landscape. Mature trees, holes well cut out, beautiful greens, and interesting finish.
How do you like that finishing stretch? They call it the Green Mile.
Some might think it's purgatory, but I think it's the perfect touch to a great golf course. Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Well, he pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. Going to need a bit of force to extract one out of there.
So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
Frank, this is an important approach shot because our featured player was really good early, a little bit shaky of late. This is a point in time where you need to get it back.
Yeah, you almost need to stop. Just stand still for a second. almost just flush it out, because at the moment you're starting to look right and left at the trouble. Let's get back to what worked. Let's start looking where we want the ball to go, where the flag is, and start going there.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Never quite had enough oomph on that.
Yeah, sort of a wishy-washy stroke.
Clean this up with a tap.
Did the job right there. Frank, in modern professional golf, we're seeing more and more drivable par fours, like the 8th here at Quail Hollow, 350 yards. What do you think of this hole?
It's not a bad hole. Drivable, some might say, but the angle of the green means it's hard for that tee shot to keep on the green. But I think the reward for hitting a driver is try and sort of aim at that tree just left of the green. And the reason why is then you've got to pitch up the direction of the green. This is a really narrow green.
Birdie try up next.
Even par currently.
Ooh, that hurts.
No, that's a shot gone forever.
He needs this for par.
Frank, let's hope he doesn't make double bogey now.
That's the saddest coming out in your Rich.
Well, that's a bogey. Starting to go the wrong way now, Frank.
If you keep driving 100 miles an hour, accidents are going to happen.
Well, Frank, what do you think of the 9th hole here at Quail Hollow?
Oh, I think it's a beauty, Rich. One of those long, nice drawing tee shots. 500 yards is a par 4. You have to hit a good drive down there. The fairway doesn't camber that much. Hole does dogleg to the left. Big advantage for a big tee shot here.
This will require a good strike of the golf ball. It's a pretty long shot into this par 4 9th. Strong approach shot here at the 9th, and a good opportunity to finish this side with a birdie.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. So with a make, moves to even par. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. We are set at Quail Hollow for the backside, the 10th hole, Frank, 469 yards.
And a nice par 5 where a good drive means that you can reach this par 5 and 2. Just try and avoid that bunker down the left. Second shot's going to play a little downhill.
Well, it is nice to have that one in your bag, to be able to hit it that long.
Yeah, that has to be at least 315 yards.
Good lie in the fairway, and a good chance to make something happen here. Frank, going back to 1961 when this golf course was open, several different designers have put their imprint on it.
That's why there's this great collection of holes, Rich, and I think that's why when you look at this golf course in complete overview, it becomes a great driving golf course. I think you see that when you first step on the tee, plus these collection of greens. And I think that's all the meetings of the minds. There's no real flat surfaces, there's little pockets. Each green has its own identity. You put it all together and you've got this wonderful test.
The original designer, George Cobb, Arnold Palmer, made a few modifications in the mid-1980s, and then Tom Fazio came in with a redesign back in '97, and then again, as the modern game exploded with distance, 2003.
That takes him to 1 under on the day.
Frank, on this backside at Quail Hollow, a player does have a good chance to get off to a good start with that par 5 10th, and now relatively short par 4 11th, where a player with a good drive could stick a short iron in their hands.
Yeah, this is one you're going to have to make a decision. You can just play this as a straightforward dogleg left par 4 and hit a 3-wood or a long iron up there and 9-iron or something like that into the green. Or, if you want it, you can try and blast a drive around the corner. I don't know if that's the more prudent play, but it's fun.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot.
And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. Oh, I thought he had that. Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. Frank, I think the mark of a good golf course design, changing directions. We go from a right to left hole, now at the 12th, to a left to right hole.
Yeah, there's no 2 holes at Quail Hollow that look the same. And this one's slightly downhill, fairway tilts a little bit to the right, and it's a bit of a sleeper. And plus you add in on top of that 450 yards plus. This is a fairway that has to be hit.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Frank, this ball's in the rough. You like to hinge just a little bit quicker on the takeaway when the ball is down like this?
No, when it's down, you've just got to make sure that you wind up almost like you're hitting a tee shot. This is not one to be dallied with. You've got to hit it powerfully, and you really have to focus on that club getting through the grass, past the ball, and out the other side.
Frank, that's not one you're necessarily thinking about making.
No, just a good putt, though. There's no 2 ways about that. He's putting well.
So with that, the score is now at even par. Another thriller from here at Quail Hollow in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. And for all of us here at EA Sports, so long until next time. This is EA Sports. PGA Tour coverage coming up next. What really sets Quail Hollow apart here at the Wells Fargo Championship, the brutal finishing stretch. They call it the Green Mile. And we are excited to bring you all of the tournament action. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo.
315. Second shot, good look at the green. Appears to be what they call a commercial play, very solid. On the green, and a chance for birdie here in the first hole. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Nothing wrong with that par putt. Frank, a nice mix of opening holes here at Quail Hollow in the Wells Fargo Championship. Pretty short par 3 here at the second.
180-yard shot will play more like 175 for the half a club downhill. There's much more green on that right side. If you're not too sure what club to hit, then you should stay away from that left side.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Frank, I'm sure it feels good to get some red numbers on the card, but this tournament is probably too far out of reach at this point.
No question.
Frank, did you hear the sound of that coming off the club face?
It was like a cannon.
Frank, right where you want to be.
Wouldn't be better if it was on a tee.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. That will be a great look at birdie. But he's going for back-to-back birdies here, trying to jumpstart this round.
Some momentum moving in the right direction.
Well, you could see he's just disgusted with that effort. Just a couple of feet. Continuing to putt with confidence. Frank, this is a muscular par 4 here at just under 490 yards, the 4th at Quail Hollow. A difficult proposition.
It is, but fortunately that tee shot plays a little downhill. But one of the difficulties with the tee shot is the fairway kicks from right to left. So it needs a good one to keep it on the fairway, and another green that has 3 different levels.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards.
Second shot.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read, and missed out on that second part. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Settles in over the putt. So another bogey on the scorecard. And Frank, what happened this week?
I think it's a week to forget, Rich.
Now to the first par 5 here at Quail Hollow, the 5th hole. It's 570 yards, and it would seem, Frank, that this tee shot sets up well for a guy like Rory McIlroy.
It does. Someone that hits it long and moves the ball right to left, and that's what you're going to have to do here. One of the main reasons for that is not necessarily the dog leg, but the fact that the fairway, Rich, slopes away from you. It slopes to the right and away. So that makes that tee shot so much more difficult.
This one has a chance to be close. Big swing right there, and a great result. And now a chance for a big swing in momentum with an eagle coming up.
Well, Rich, if there's something to be taken out of this tournament, then it's that right there. Eagle. They've been hard to come by.
Maybe you can build on that. Third round coverage comes your way tomorrow on EA Sports. For Frank Nobilo and our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now. Today's coverage brought to you by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. And we welcome you to one of the most popular golf courses on the PGA Tour. It is Quail Hollow. We're in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Frank, it is just starting to heat up out on the golf course. Fans are streaming in, anticipating a highly contested event with the best golfers in the world.
One reason the fans love this course so much, Rich, the green mile. It's fine to have a good golf course, but it's got to have a great finish. It's got a great finish, then it becomes a great golf course. Quail Hollow has that great finish of 16, 17, and 18.
That's in the fairway. And now the second shot here at this par 5. Third shot, looking for a good one. Bit surprising, misses the green in regulation here at the par 5.
Yeah, you'd think this is one of the easier holes on the golf course. So now just trying to avoid 6.
Solid play, heart of the green. And getting ready for the putt.
good par. This is the start of what some say is the toughest finishing stretch on the PGA Tour. It's known as the Green Mile. Frank, what makes it so challenging?
Well, this hole in particular, Rich, the dogleg right, it means it plays every inch of it's just over 500 yards. That bunker you can see down the right, 325 yards to carry that. If you can fly the ball that far, at least you can chew off 2/3 of this hole, and that is well required here. Otherwise, it's a long, long second shot.
Oh, look out. This could be wet, Frank.
It's heading towards the
Good news is, was able to retrieve the golf ball.
yeah, on dry land, and can he carry it this time, though?
So this is his fourth shot after the last one found the water.
It's not all over, but right now, too, he's staring down the barrel of a very bad hole. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Well, that's how you play the game, right there. Just 5 feet left. Well done. Frank, this is all you want in a par 3, especially late in the round. You have to carry the water. You have to deal with the pressure. At 221 yards, this requires a player's very best.
On the process of elimination, don't go long, don't go left, don't go short, and right is marginal. It doesn't leave you with much.
Good, clean contact, a nice result, and a chance for birdie coming up. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Been a little too much of that, Frank, just sort of ho-hum pars. Here we are, the 18th hole at Quail Hollow. Simply put, Frank, a player needs to hit maybe his best tee shot of the day.
I would agree with you, Rich. If you were to measure this hole from trees on the left to trees on the right, it's actually a really wide fairway or expansive land. But that creek that just meanders its way through the middle of this hole completely changes the nature of this hole. And consequently, you get the nail on the head. If you don't hit a good tee shot, you will rack up something here. And I've got no idea how big it would be.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Par attempt here. That is a solid par putt. Frank, you've been there at so many tournaments around the world. One round to go, a chance to win. What's that feeling like?
Oh, this is the fun part, knowing whether or not your body can handle the situation. You got to push it to the limit, but that's what sport and golf is all about. Trying to do something that you've dreamed of for so long.
This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour.
Thanks for joining us here today in Charlotte, North Carolina for the final round of the Wells Fargo Championship. Frank, what do we have out here today?
Well, if history has a chance of repeating itself, remember those great closing rounds by Rory McIlroy? That 62, that was one of the best rounds ever shot that year back in 2010. And, of course, that playoff, too. Ricky Fowler back in 2012. We actually beat out then world number one Rory McIlroy with that stunning drive down the finishing hole and brilliant wedge to a tight flag. This golf course, it can give it, it can take it away. But for us, from where we're sitting, Rich, we'll enjoy the view today.
No doubt about it. And it is not looking like a good lie. Just trying to make clean contact from the rough.
Good recovery shot. Couldn't make the green, but at least he's back in play.
Played the smart shot right there. Second shot here at the par 5 10th. Chance to make something happen. Good looking shot right here. He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. This can be a cruel game at times. Missed putt and a drop shot here at the 10th. That's a bogey putt, dropping down the leaderboard a bit, now at 2 over par. Back here at the par 4 11th at Quail Hollow, set to tee off. What's the right game plan here, Frank?
Oh, there's two really. That left bunker off the tee, it's about 265 yards to get it on the fairway, or 308 yards, 310 yards run out there. I've seen players just try and carry the bunker, sort of set up a short iron, and I've seen players like Rory McIlroy just try and blast a driver with a hook on it. Both strategies have worked.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. He'll take par and move on. Frank, I think the mark of a good golf course design, changing directions. We go from a right to left hole, now at the 12th, to a left to right hole.
Yeah, there's no two holes at Quail Hollow that look the same. And this one's slightly downhill, fairway tilts a little bit to the right, and it's a bit of a sleeper. And plus you add in on top of that 450 yards plus. This is a fairway that has to be hit.
Certainly had enough power, just didn't have any touch. Frank, what's the best way to get at the golf ball when it's sitting down just a bit in the rough?
You have to accept the fact first and foremost that you're not going to get clean contact. So you have to decide whether the ball's going to come out short or it's going to fly. Because very rarely will it come out the normal distance of what you hit on the fairway. So if it's a little thin and wispy, chances are it might fly. If it's nestled down, you're going to have to take at least another club.
Frank, it's been that kind of a tournament. Another bogey.
Yeah, it's not exactly a small gap between that player there and the rest of the field. That gap's got to feel like the Grand Canyon right now.
Now to the par 3, 13th hole. Frank, this one 210 yards.
Very, very good par 3. This is actually a big green. It's 37 yards deep, but it actually plays small. There's a front right portion, there's a roll-off area in the middle, and there's a roll-off area in the back. So don't be deceived by the size of this green. You better be pitching that tee shot right bang in the middle.
So the golf ball ends up in that first cut. It's a little bit less than 2 inches. You can see the golf ball. Should be able to get at it, but may not be able to control the spin. We'll see. Frank, it's not about getting the ball close to the hole. From that spot,
Well, he had no chance to get it close. I thought he had very, very, very little chance of getting it on the green. So given that, that was a very good shot.
wow, I thought it was going in just off the mark by a fraction. Clean this up with a tap. Blemish on the scorecard, a bogey. Wow, Frank, this is a really good little par 4, isn't it, the 14th?
It is, and this is where one of those strong 3-woods comes in. The last 50 or 60 yards is the ball kicks down and towards the left, and it sounds like an aggressive play, but like a hard 3-wood trying to run it down there is actually not a bad play.
Is it drivable?
It is drivable, but it's whether it's worth the risk.
Oh my goodness, that is on in one. Wow, what an incredible shot. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Looks like he just misread that. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Frank, where has that been?
Yeah, thank God for small mercies.
We're now teed up at the 15th hole. It is the final par 5 here at Quail Hollow, 577 yards. And Frank, I remember this hole well. McIlroy stiffed the 5-iron on his way to making eagle, his first PGA Tour win. That came back in 2010.
And the opportunity exists again here. Under 600 yards, plays downhill off the tee. Those two bunkers on the right are perfectly situated. That second one about 310 yards to it. So something straight at that one with a little draw will set up that mid-iron or long iron that has to be hit very high and uphill. That's an absolute beauty.
Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. Frank, we remember what Rory McIlroy did here in 2010, his first PGA Tour victory, a 62 in the final round. It was also the first victory for Ricky Fowler.
Yeah, and oddly enough, it was in a playoff. And in that playoff, Ricky just pulled out a driver and smashed it down and then hit a sand iron, that front left flag. Basically the gimme distance. Not only did he win the playoff, but he beat Rory McIlroy, the then world #1 in DA points. And that was the same Ricky Fowler that, remember, in the playoff in 2015 for the Players' Championship, drove the ball in equally daunting fashion over those 3 playoff holes at TPC Sawgrass. Oh, if this is up, it's good.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. This is an approach shot that will really test a player. Second to the 16th. That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. Settles in over the putt. That had to really hurt Frank because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Just a tap in to finish the hole. That's a solid par putt. Just 2 holes remaining here at Quail Hollow in Charlotte, North Carolina. This is the signature par 3, 221 yards, the 17th.
And they have a multitude of tees here. One of the new back tees is actually where the old 16th green was. And if you think don't go left is the way to play, then that won't work either, because right's not that much good. This is it. Stand on the tee, and you better hit a good shot.
Frank, anything you do differently from the rough in terms of your swing? Do you hinge the club a little bit more quickly?
No, normally put the ball just a little bit further back in your stance because you want the club to be going down. Down, it's got to go down through the grass, through the ball.
Different day, different hole. Made bogey yesterday. He'll do better this time, it looks like. Not a problem from there, right in the middle. Now to the finishing hole here at Quail Hollow. Frank, what can we expect?
If there was a name for this hole, Rich, it should be called Narrows. The creek that meanders its way down the left side and actually divides that hole into really half the size of what a normal par 4 should be. That makes it hard. The bunker on the right is your bailout area, just over 290 yards to get past that, and then the narrowest green that still sits up against the lake. This is just a brutal finish.
Thank goodness, Frank, back on dry land here.
As long as this one avoids it.
So the previous shot into the drink, this now the 4th shot. So Frank, he'll take a drop here.
Yeah, he'll take his medicine, take his penalty shot. The hole's not over yet.
Frank, how good was that just to get it on the green?
Well, from that shot there, you would have thought for sure that there was no chance he had of finding the green. That was some shot. Yeah, that was just begging there for a good putt.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. So that concludes the final round here at this spectacular setting. Frank, final thoughts on the tournament?
Rich, I thought this was really a fantastic venue that challenged the players, and we saw some exciting golf out there all across the board.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Players.
There really is nothing like it in golf. The stadium course at TPC Sawgrass, home to the Players Championship. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. And what a golf course, Frank. And obviously the most famous hole is that little island, par 3, 17th. And it's the ultimate hold-your-breath moment. When that ball is airborne on a Sunday afternoon, you don't know. Wet or dry, victory or agonizing defeat.
It's certainly a great temptress, and it's fitting in this golf course that was created for two reasons by Pete Dye. It was created to be a cliffhanger of sorts and to test the great players of the world. And, of course, it was built with natural viewing in mind. So it's the perfect stadium venue for this championship. Rich, there's nothing worse than this. This might look all right, but in the mulch, this is a disastrous situation.
So this is not mulch or do about nothing?
Ah, I get it.
Frank, as we get set for this approach, what does our featured player need to do to regain some of that early round magic?
First, a bit of advice, really. Take a deep breath. Make sure all those bad thoughts get out of your mind. After that hot start, we all know they can play better than this, but they need to relax first of all and then let their game take over again.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid.
It's a big green. Just managed to get it smack bang in the middle of it.
Getting set now over the putt. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Just 5 feet left.
I don't know what they were looking at.
Just a shade over par, +1. Up now, hole number 12. It's a short one, 358 yard, par 4.
This can catch you off guard. If you just try and hit the ball on the fairway, if you're on the middle of the fairway, the left side, you will have a blind second shot. So ideally, hit it down that right side of the fairway if you want to see the flag. Oh, that's it. New member of the 300-yard club.
Good poke right there.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. The bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
He has this for a birdie. Nice putt, and now back to level par. Action flying all over the place. Let's get down now to the 13th. As we catch up with today's featured golfer, just been holding steady all day long, Frank.
A solid round of golf. 4 of these will certainly bode well come the end of the week.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
How about that shot right there from that lie in the rough to knock it that close? That's good. Shouldn't be a problem here.
Been a little too much of that, Frank, just sort of ho-hum pars.
And through the years, Frank, it has gotten the best of the best, hasn't it?
We've seen Tiger Woods hit it left. We've seen Vijay Singh hit it left. We've seen so many players in the water down the left. Conversely, many a championship's been lost by hitting the ball up in the mounds on the right.
You take 4 here and run to 15?
I would sprint.
Frank, there's a lot to factor in on this approach at the 14th.
You can favor right side of this green and sort of allow the contours of the green just to move that ball to the left.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he was thinking on that.
In the cup. What a shot. Can't get much better than that.
Frank, the 14th hole. A lot has happened here over the years.
I think it's the litmus test on the back nine. That's where things really start to heat up. It looks like a straightforward tee shot, but often the eyes wander to that water down the left side. And of course, if you think about that, you invariably fire the ball towards the right, where those hillocks and thick rough is, and virtually no chance of reaching the par 4 and 2.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Players.
And right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that?
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
It should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Birdie here yesterday, trying to do it again today. Who knows? It is a 4-round tournament, setting himself up for a good weekend, maybe a great one. The young star makes his birdie. Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. Back-to-back birdies, we'll see. Well, after that birdie, has to be feeling as though they're not out of it just yet.
You're not far away from the first page of the leaderboard. A couple more birdies.
Frank, 14 is so often a pivotal hole here at the TPC Sawgrass.
It is, Rich. And when you see a player hit 2 shots comfortably on this green, you think, what's all the problems about 14? But when you see someone stray left or stray right, you realize that 14 is a real bear.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Not his best, but not his worst. It just got away a little bit to the right. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Good roll, solid. That's a par. Back to the TPC Sawgrass, the 15th hole. It's a par 4 as we make our way to this finishing stretch. And Frank, what's in store for the players here?
Another one of those par 4s around 450 yards. Ideally hit it tee shot down the right side, keeping it away from that bunker, but that's a flat bunker down the right with no lip, so it's still not too bad. Biggest problem here is that green. So many undulations on this green.
Frank, once again, precision is so important as we look at this second shot to the 15th.
Yeah, you're looking at the flag here. You're looking at birdie, but if you miss, that big bunker on the left will swallow it up, and there's two little pop bunkers on the right. Tough to get it up and down.
Wouldn't say he's ecstatic, but not unhappy either.
24 feet. There'll be a lot of players much further away than that on this hole.
Birdie try again here today. How does that not go in?
Amazing. Stroke looked good. Line looked good. Just did not take that final break.
Settles in over the putt. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
That concludes the second round here at this amazing golf course. And Frank, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow.
I certainly am as well. The players have gotten off to a very good start, and they must have a good feel for the course right now and know what they have to do in order to win.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Its third round coverage of the players.
Oh, if this is up, it's good.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Good tee shot right in the short grass. Strong winds continue to be a factor. Frank, I know you've played all over the world. How much did you enjoy the challenge of playing into a stiff breeze?
Well, it was a chance to separate yourself from the rest of the field, Rich. Just like these conditions we're seeing right now. You've really got to be smart. Pick the right shot. If you get too aggressive on a day like today, you'll pay a far more severe price than normal.
Club selection obviously is crucial.
Oh, it's imperative today.
Take an extra club or two, choke down.
Very much so. Rich, it's been a very good workmanlike performance. Yet another birdie.
Into the top 15 on the leaderboard. Second hole, it's a par 5.
You'd think birdie or eagle off this tee, and we've seen a lot during the Players' Championship, but once again, you have to move that tee shot right to left. But be careful of those pines.
Boy, it is nice to have that one in your bag, to be able to hit it that long.
Yeah, that has to be at least 315 yards. It was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Right now, the third shot here at the par 5.
Yeah, be very aware on what level that flag is. If it's on the back right, you must fly it all the way up there. The easiest one is that left side. You can use the mound or go straight at the flag.
So on the putting surface and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second.
A few more birdies like that, Rich, you never know, just might sneak placed on the podium.
In the top 10 right now.
Setting up for the third hole here at TPC Sawgrass, relatively short par 3 at 177 yards.
But you've got to carry that ball at least 4 or 5 yards onto this green, even when it's firm.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. And so the approach shot finishes up some 25 feet from the hole.
Yeah, not his best, but certainly not his worst.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Locked in on the read and the speed. And he makes it for par. Hole number 4 here at TPC Sawgrass, 384-yard par 4 deep fairway bunker to the right of the landing zone. You want to avoid that. What else is there to look out for, Frank?
Those huge mounds on the left, they're just as penal really as the bunker on the right. So this is one where you have to pick an object in the distance. Really focus on that.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Wow, I thought he made that. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Good putt. Now to the 5th. This long par 4 thought to be one of the most difficult holes on the front side here at the TPC Sawgrass.
If you've got plenty of length in the bag, you can almost take it directly over the bunker on the right. But if you're not as long, you have to air down that left side.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Frank, there's a real art to putting a good 72-hole score in the book, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. You know, you can have a flash of brilliance, make 5 or 6 birdies. It can be offset by doubles and quadruple bogeys. And in the end, it's the end. What did you do? The plus and the minuses. And that's why all our biggest championships have, of recent, been stroke play.
That's an outstanding shot right there, and it sets up a really good-looking birdie.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Well, that's just a case of not focusing right there. What a lapse in concentration. This from 7 feet. doing what needs to be done. You need to make them from that distance.
Day 3, and what a tournament this is shaping up to be, Frank.
Quite simply, great weather, great golf, great fans, which is the perfect mix for a golfer trying to win a tournament. The final round, if this is anything to go by, has to just be sensational.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Players.
Welcome once again to TPC Sawgrass for the Players. This is Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo, set to bring you all the action. And Frank, the 17th hole is always the place to be during this great championship.
It certainly is, Rich. The energy, as we know, each and every year has just been electric at 17.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot.
Well, that one didn't work out. It didn't look bad in the air. It hit the green, but didn't sit.
Yeah, it was never going to stop. Second shot.
Pretty good shot right there.
Nudge this one home, finish it up.
He'll take par and move on. Now one of the most demanding holes on this golf course, the 14th, 481-yard par 4.
If you want a litmus test at TPC Sawgrass on who's playing well, check the tee shots on 14. If you stripe it down here, you know you're driving the ball well. Too often we see people missing with the mounds on the right.
Frank, it makes the game easy when you play it from the fairway.
Especially when you play it from a lie like that.
Frank, there's a lot to factor in on this approach at the 14th.
You can favor right side of this green and sort of allow the contours of the green just to move that ball to the left.
That will be a great look at birdie.
Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time, that one gets him in the top 10.
If you're just joining us, we're at the 15th hole here at TPC Sawgrass, 449-yard par 4. Frank, what's in store here?
One of the prettiest tee shots on the golf course, Rich. Once again, you're coming out of a chute of trees, big bunker down the right side. Really, you want to hug that right side, though. It gives you a better entry into this green.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Oh, can't hide the flag stick from that man.
Made par yesterday. This one for birdie.
just continuing to play some really good golf. 8 under par for the championship. You licking your chops here, Frank, as a player when you get to this tee box?
Well, it's an opportunity. A 4 here certainly makes the mood better when you walk to 17 and then 18. So a 4 here is more than just making a birdie on a par 5.
Good contact, good result. One player told me, Frank, that it's like a root canal appointment. You're thinking about 17 all day long.
I think a root canal at times would be more enjoyable than playing 17 on a windy day. This looks like it's going to find the target.
That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. What a putt. Just missed, Frank.
That's cruel.
Just a little tap in here. So 1 shot closer to the lead with that birdie. Through the years, Frank, there have been 6 aces here at 17.
But it's hard to imagine that the last one was back in 2002 by none other than the most interesting man in the game and probably the most interesting par 3 in the game.
So off the tee here at the par 3, not his best stuff, but still a chance to make the 3.
Yeah, that was a poor miss off the tee. See if he can redeem himself.
Solid play, heart of the green. No damage done, made the par. Now to the 18th hole here at TPC Sawgrass, 462-yard par 4, Frank, and another example of visual intimidation from the designer, Pete Dye.
Those wooden bulkheads that go all the way down the left side of 18 give you like an optical illusion, Rich. And there's not a single fairway bunker on the right to give you something specifically to aim at. So you've got to fixate on one of those trees. This is not a hole where you want to be looking at anything other than a specific target.
Now the approach shot here to 18, just one last good swing, Frank.
There's a little false front here that you have to avoid, so something that pitches over that right bunker that lands a good 10 or so yards on this green is certainly the desired goal.
So maybe a nice way to finish up with a good approach here to the 18th and a good chance for birdie. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. This can be a cruel game at times. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
Blemish on the scorecard, a bogey. Well, that'll wrap up our coverage of the final round. This is Rich Lerner alongside Frank Novelo for EA Sports. We'll see you next week.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. It's the opening round of the Peach Invitational. And now down to hole number 15. As we check in on this early round action, we join our featured golfer, already playing well to this point. Couple of low numbers on the scorecard.
Yeah, it looks very good. Good swings out there and some good putting as well.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball, and this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Pretty close. He'll be looking at about 15 feet for birdie.
It's no snack though.
Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
So close.
And yet it still counts for another shot.
Just a couple of feet. Well, with that drop shot, moves to 1 over for the tournament. Here we are at the 16th now. That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Frank, downhill shot here. Will he have to take it just a little bit easier?
Yeah, be careful with the ball position as well. If you play the ball too far forward and try and scoop it, it's not going to work.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Birdie try up next. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Oh my goodness, Frank, that is painful.
Oh, yeah, that's the... You'd rather miss the hole at times, wouldn't you?
Been a little too much of that, Frank, just sort of ho-hum pars. Over the last decade, the 17th of 455 yards with that water looming left has proven to be one of the most dramatic holes in golf.
Oh, that's fine.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. So much riding right now on this shot, you can just feel the tension. Approach shot now to the 17th. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
That will be a great look at birdie.
Man. I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Par attempt here.
the round going, those par putts.
The 18th hole here at East Lake is a par 3, 235 yards to the green.
Appears to be tracking well. He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track.
Shouldn't be a problem here.
Nice putt, and now back to level par.
Second round coverage coming your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. So long for now. NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Peach Invitational.
Beautiful-looking shot right here.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par. Another good swing. Another good approach shot.
Getting set now over the putt.
In for par.
Now at the second hole, first of a really tough set of par 3s, Frank.
This is where iron play comes straight away out of the gates, Rick. Good iron play is always rewarded on this par 3. Downhill. It's a big enough green. Good iron players often will have a chance for birdie. A little sloppy off the tee here, and you'll rack up at least 4 in a heartbeat.
Just an incredible shot. That is a very makeable putt after a great approach. Well played. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Oh, I thought he had that.
Can't birdie them all, Rich. Even par currently.
Good putt. Hole number 3 is a par 4. It's only 390 yards. Frank, what do you think the right club selection is off the tee?
The majority of players hit like 3-wood off the tee here. It's a little ambitious with a driver because you don't get any real advantage getting that much closer to the green. If you can carry that right bunker and keep the ball in the fairway, you're still going to be left with a full short iron, whether it's a wedge or a 9-iron. And that's a scoring club.
Frank, this is a way to make golf easy when you can hit it that deep.
Oh, I'm going to say, I know that first number's a 3. I'm guessing the second one's a 2. Let's call it 320.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. I mean, really on top of his game right now. That was a splendid approach shot.
Frank, well off the pace, but the true professionals, they keep digging, trying to get better.
Here now at the par 4 fourth hole at East Lake, and it is 440 yards in length. Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball, and this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
That's well played. Now a good look at birdie. Made par yesterday, this one for birdie.
Yeah, that was just begging there for a good putt.
Settles in over the putt.
Drops for a par. Well, Frank, our players really put on a show for us today here at East Lake.
Oh, they did. I hope they enjoyed playing one of the great golf courses of the world, Rich. So, this course has hosted so many great events. US Women's Amateur, the Ryder Cup, obviously the Men's Amateur, the FedEx Cup, the Tour Championship, and of course the history, all the great players from yesteryear that have played here. You've now joined that list.
So for all of us here at EA Sports, this is Rich Lerner, along with Frank Nobilo, saying so long until next time. NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Peach Invitational. Just a solid shot here at number 7, right where you want to be. Frank, this is an important approach shot because our featured player was really good early, a little bit shaky of late. This is a point in time where you need to get it back.
Yeah, you almost need to stop. Just stand still for a second. Almost just flush it out because at the moment you're starting to look right and left at the trouble. Let's get back to what worked. Let's start looking where we want the ball to go, where the flag is, and start going there. It's that sneaky distance.
Just a little too much juice on that birdie putt, Frank.
It was bold, very bold.
He's made it. Frank, back-to-back dog legs to the left as we step on the tee here at the 8th.
This one, a little different to the 7th hole. This one's fairly flat, and also that fairway runs out on the right side. You can try and flash it across all the bunkers. There's no real advantage. You have to respect those bunkers. Should just leave you a sand iron, a wedge maximum in here. This is a good scoring opportunity, providing you hit the fairway.
Ready for his second shot, trying to knock it on the green.
Get down. Look out.
It's over. The green.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough. What does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Well, that's what the great ones do. From the rough, they use their skill and their strength to get it out and get it close. That's a nice confidence builder right there. You make those for par, and you keep things steady. Rounding out the front 9 here at East Lake, and interesting, this is our first par 5 of the day. Just 2 par 5s on the course, and the first is here at the 9th, set up at an even 600 yards.
Oh, that's fine. Rich, these winds haven't subsided at all today. It's certainly a tough test out there right now for these players.
They get your attention, don't they, as a player?
They have club selection right now, vital.
You put the ball back in your stance just a little bit.
If you're going to hit it down.
That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. And with that birdie, moving into the top 20 on the leaderboard. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back. Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good.
Looks to be a good setup going into the green here at the 10th. Well, Frank, as we know, golf is not played generally on a flat surface, and here we go, uphill.
Yeah, and the uphill lie is going to guarantee you more loft than normal. So you're going to have to counteract that with maybe an extra club.
This is a good-looking shot. Making it look easy at this point. Another beautiful approach shot. And this would be nice. 2 straight birdies. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, you couldn't hit that much better.
Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Well, not in contention, but in for par. 3 rounds in the books, outside the top 10 going to the final 18. Frank, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think you're going to have to approach the final round in a couple of different phases. Try and be aggressive early on. If you do get a few birdies in the bank, you really still can fancy yourself with a chance to win. It'll all depend on that start tomorrow.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's the final round of the Peach Invitational. Frank, they say you have to ride the wind. Boy, he got all of that one.
Got every ounce out of the conditions.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Just playing excellent golf, 5 under for the tournament. There are 3 tall pines on the right side of the fairway that force players to hit a fade to get to the best position in the fairway. With a good drive, players can definitely reach this short par 5 in 2. A well-bunkered green poses problems if missed long or short. One of the easiest holes at East Lake, a par here, will drop a shot to the field. That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky.
Frank, not overly long, but still a pretty good spot and in the fairway.
Yeah, that's in that 280 mark. Second shot.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. This is always a pivotal shot in the round, the second here at the par 5 15th. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Headed in the right direction with that birdie.
Just sneaks into the top 10. It's a good move this week.
Moving on to number 16 now, 481-yard par 4.
Another one that's downhill with the fairway sloping from left to right. Series of bunkers down the left side. It's not the end of the world, actually, if you go on those ones down the left. Every now and again, you'll see someone try and hit a driver and try and take them all out of play. Is that you?
Well, that was a beautiful drive, Frank. Really good position to take advantage.
Sitting up beautifully in the fairway.
Frank, downhill shot here. Will he have to take it just a little bit easier?
Yeah, be careful with the ball position as well. If you play the ball too far forward and try and scoop it, it's not going to work.
Good swing, good shot yet again. See if he can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. Good chunk of real estate here, 22 feet away. That's an important birdie right there, into the top 5 on this leaderboard.
Well, there's so much at stake this week, Rich.
Frank, the par 4 17th at 455 yards has become really one of the most famous holes on the PGA Tour.
By virtue of that great up and down by Bill Haas when the level of the lake had been reduced just to the level where he could actually play that vital third shot. The hole is a slight dogleg left, par 4, fairly flat. Those 3 bunkers down the right are absolutely perfect if you're going to just bail out to the right. You'll certainly learn how to play fairway bunker shots. If you can find the fairway, this green raised slightly, and you'll see that gaping front bunker that protects the front.
Moving a little to the right of the flagstick. He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Just continuing to play some really good golf. 8 under par for the championship. Now to the final hole here at East Lake Golf Club. And Frank, there aren't too many golf courses that finish with a par 3.
And that's why it's always under a debate whether you should finish on a par 3, especially one of this length. 2s are very, very hard to find on this green. And the reason why there's so many slopes and hollows here, the 2 bunkers, remember the great up and down from Jim Furyk from the right bunker, that's more than possible. But this is it. This is what it comes down to. Somehow make a 3.
Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it is going to hurt the cause.
Well, you're not going to make that putt all the time, but you'd like to at least get it to the hole.
If he keeps putting like that, he's going to be an announcer in no time.
Frank, that bogey really hurts. Really good round out there today. What's the mindset, Frank, to keep it going?
The first thing, really, Rich, just try and keep the same composure for tomorrow's round. Get some rest. We know that. Shouldn't really have to hit the range. Swings in good position. Just keep it easy and visualize how tomorrow's going to pan out.
EA Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national championship. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the U.S. Open Championship.
Frank, did you hear the sound of that coming off the club face?
It was like a cannon.
Good contact, good result. Frank, you've been there so many times. Is it fair to say that a U.S. Open is as much a psychological test
as it is a physical test?
I think that's a great way to put it, Rich. It really is. People know that you're not going to get instant gratification at a US Open. You're gonna sort of get hit more than you'd like, especially come the end of the week. But also in the back of your mind, you realise that's the way you should be tested, maybe once a year. That's all, and that often determines the best player in the game.
And getting ready for the putt. You get the sense now with that birdie that our young star, so explosive, is setting himself up for a big weekend run. Let's go down to the 11th. Nothing noteworthy here in the first round, Frank, but still plenty of golf to be played.
That's right, Rich. A little bit of a dry spell, but really not a lot of damage done.
Well, those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway. Frank, as we get set for this approach, what does our featured player need to do to regain some of that early round magic?
First, a bit of advice, really. Take a deep breath. Make sure all those bad thoughts get out of your mind. After that hot start, we all know they can play better than this, but they need to relax first of all and then let their game take over again.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Wow, I thought he made that. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
So a tester from 4 feet. Steady, solid, and at 1 under par right now. Frank, we just came off that long par 4 at the 11th, well over 500 yards. Now at the 12th, we go in the opposite direction. This has become a staple at a U.S. Open, the reachable par 4.
Yeah, the logic would say just grab sort of a mid-iron to a long iron, knock it down, wedge it on there, and have no strain, no sweat. But who's going to play golf like that? Take the head cover off. Come on, chance it. It's called narrows. Well, the odds are going to be narrow, but you just might hit the green.
This could be really good, Frank.
Oh, straight at it.
And as he strides up here to the 12th green, having hit it in regulation, he knows now that his work is by no means done. A long putt coming up. That was not a very good read right there. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
How does that not go in?
Amazing. Stroke looked good. Line looked good. Just did not take that final break.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
And that par certainly won't hurt the cause.
Still some time. With just 6 holes left to play here at the U.S. Open, we arrive at the 13th. It's a dogleg par 4 to the right.
And in a US Open, obviously 534 yards means if you make a mistake off the tee, the chances of making 4 here are minimal. So fairway first. It is one of the wider fairways on the golf course. You're still going to have a lengthy second shot, and you must avoid the bunker that guards the front of this green.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. This is the second shot at the par 4. Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole. Don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here.
Frank landed it on the green.
It was never going to stop.
No chance. Well, in the sand, but it has been raked nicely, looking for something positive. Solid play, heart of the green. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
That's a head scratcher. No other way to put it. That close to the green and misses it badly to the right. A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. So, 2 over par for the round. Don't forget, second round coverage coming your way tomorrow here on EA Sports for our entire crew. I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now. EA Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national championship. Today, it's live second round coverage of the U.S. Open Championship. That's a good start to the hole, right down the middle. This looks to be at least an extra club, maybe 2 clubs going way up that hill to the green.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. About 18 feet away with a decent look. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. So frustrating sometimes on the greens, isn't it? Drop shot here at the 6th.
Even par currently.
So close. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Frank, you know full well, this can be a humbling game.
And an embarrassing game.
Well, Frank, this is what a U.S. Open is all about. A long, tough par 4 up the hill.
Yeah, just a beast. And it's a dogleg right on top of that. There's more humps and bumps and all this than a dermatologist would ever dream of down there. Oh, that's fine. Rich, when you think about it, this course is built for you. You know, you've got a hole called Cape Fair, right? And then there's one called Beached, and then you follow up there with Derailed. This one says Rich Learner.
Nothing like positive thinking when you step onto a tee. I'm beached, I'm derailed, and I'm in a complete free fall in the middle of my round.
Let's go play.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Pretty good stroke right there, just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Frank, we know we're at a U.S. Open. 500-yard par 4s, and here a better than 600-yard par 5 at the 8th.
Yeah, you need a missile really off the tee to be able to reach this par 5 and 2, and not a single bunker really on this hole. So this is just long every stretch of the way. The fairway actually looks a little bit narrower than what it is. There's a little bit more fairway than actually what meets the eye at first.
So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough. So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Frank, I'm sure it feels good to get some red numbers on the card, but this tournament is probably too far out of reach at this point.
No question. Should be safely on deck.
Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Oh, what an incredible shot. Well, Frank, what a day. Dramatic views and some great golf as well here at Chambers Bay.
You can see why this is considered a true links golf course, even though it's that far away from Scotland. It presents so well to the eye. The bunkering here is stunning, and of course, it tests every player in the game.
We enjoyed it, and we hope you did as well. For my partner Frank Nobilo and all of us here at EA Sports, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now from Chambers Bay.
EA Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national championship. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the U.S. Open Championship.
Excellent start off the tee. That's a great way to begin this hole.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Respectable shot right there. 20 feet or so from the hole. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Suddenly a ray of sunshine with that birdie.
There is hope. Now in the top 25.
Frank, when you think of U.S. Opens, you so often think of a tough grind, but in recent years they've added some spice with the reachable par fours, and we have one right here at the 12th.
And this is the reason why we're starting to see a different type of U.S. Open champion over the years. The Rory McIlroys, the Tiger Woods, even Martin Keimer. Guys that are strong enough, powerful enough to take advantage of these type of holes.
Drivable par four, not for most in this field, but for this guy, yes, he has just knocked it on. What a shot. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars.
Coming down the stretch here at the U.S. Open at Chambers Bay, just 6 holes to play, and Frank, this par 4 13th will really test the players.
It is. If someone makes 3 here down the stretch, it will be monumental. A 4 here, no one would leave this hole unhappy.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. This shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. This is a good-looking shot. Good, clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up. Getting set now over the putt. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Moving into the top 20 on the leaderboard with that par. Frank, this is the 5th par 4 in a row, and they're not easy. This one here at 14, really a daunting tee shot.
It is. That's why it's called Cape Fair. A true Cape hole in golf, Rich, is when you've got to decide how much you want to bite off. when you hit across a slight dogleg. And this one, really, you're going to be rewarded the further left you can go. There is one little bunker in the middle of the fairway that you have to avoid. That's going to be 320 or so yards off the tee. This hole, 546 yards, you're going to see a variety of second shots, or the length of second shots here, determined purely by the bravery of the tee shot.
Well, too bad, Frank. That one rolled right off the green.
It was just coming out so hot.
Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just ride a par down at the end of the hole, don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here.
Frank, that was a pretty good shot right there.
Yeah, he's done well to minimize the damage.
For a bad score on the card, that's par. Getting set now to tee off at the 15th here at the U.S. Open par 3, and it stands out because it has the only tree on the golf course.
It looks magnificent, doesn't it? Get your eyes back on the green, Rich. Come on. When they use the short tee for the U.S. Open, just 167 yards. So this is really a hole that the players are just going to eat up if they get the right wind conditions. Just an 8 or a 9 iron from 160 yards for these boys. To a green, that, well, it should be very well received.
Not quite what he was hoping for. The tee shot in the bunker. Now from the bunker.
Yeah, just a little splash out on this par 3.
Get down. Lay down. Frankie has to be scratching his head as he reaches for a sand wedge or a gap wedge for his next shot.
Well, the FedEx Cup, Rich. I mean, you're meant to get there by 10:30 tomorrow. That thing's still going.
Perfect, and in the hole. What a shot. Frank, what's a player feeling knowing they have one more round to go and they could have a chance at making a run and maybe win this thing?
No, it's a great feeling, Rich. At this point, really, it's just about whether you can handle the nerves. Everybody up there is going to be feeling them.
EA Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national championship. Today, it's live final round coverage of the U.S. Open Championship.
In the fairway here at the 10th, nice way to start off the back 9. Well, Frank, as we know, golf is not played generally on a flat surface, and here we go, uphill.
Yeah, and the uphill lie is going to guarantee you more loft than normal. So you're going to have to counteract that with maybe an extra club.
Early part of this back 9 and a good approach shot. And now we'll have this for birdie and getting ready for the putt. Well, you're not going to make that putt all the time, but you'd like to at least get it to the hole.
If he keeps putting like that, he's going to be an announcer in no time.
He'll take par and move on. Stepping up to the tee here at the 11th, Frank.
It looks straightforward. You'll see a big dune in the middle of the fairway. You can really take that out of play. Get it down there as far as you can. You're going to need to. And then from there on in, it's really just trying to find out exactly where you want to land that second shot so that you can get it on the right level.
Frank, that's as good as I have seen all day long.
I think we've got to blame that on the weather. That weather, the wind had to help that ball give it another 20, 30 yards.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Now this for birdie, came away with par in the previous round.
That might go unnoticed, Rich, but that birdie just sneak inside the top 15.
Frank, we just came off that long par 4 at the 11th, well over 500 yards. Now at the 12th, we go in the opposite direction. This has become a staple at a U.S. Open, the reachable par 4.
Yeah, the logic would say just grab sort of a mid-iron to a long iron, knock it down, wedge it on there, and have no strain, no sweat. But who's going to play golf like that? Take the head cover off. Come on, chance it. It's called narrows. The odds are going to be narrow, but you just might hit the green.
And as he strides up here to the 12th green, having hit it in regulation, he knows now that his work is by no means done. A long putt coming up. Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Now, this time, that one gets him in the top 10.
With just 6 holes left to play here at the U.S. Open, we arrive at the 13th. It's a dogleg par 4 to the right.
And in a U.S. Open, obviously 534 yards means if you make a mistake off the tee, the chances of making 4 here are minimal. So fairway first. It is one of the wider fairways on the golf course. You're still going to have a lengthy second shot, and you must avoid the bunker that guards the front of this green.
Good swing, good shot yet again. No doubt they'll be happy with that shot. Well played. So coming off the birdie on the previous hole, a chance now for yet another one.
And momentum all in his favor.
I thought that was in.
Yeah, it looked good. I mean, line, pace. It's hard to be critical of that.
Just a couple of feet.
Now, that's a good par there, Rich.
Frank, a 5th consecutive par 4 here at the U.S. Open. This is the 14th hole, and I'm guessing by the time you set foot on this tee, you'll know exactly where your game is at.
Oh, this one here, great reward for someone that's driving the ball well. If you can drive it down the left middle, avoid that little one-pot bunker in the middle of the fairway, you're going to certainly shorten this hole up. And then you can start to use the contours of this hole, too, that bend right to left. And 546 yards becomes much shorter than what you would think.
What a tremendous display of power and precision. Now playing the second here at the par 4. Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Made par yesterday, this one for birdie. Looks primed right now.
Anything other than backing up. Very aggressive. That birdie, now in second.
Now to the 15th hole here at Chambers Bay and the U.S. Open. It stands out, at least to the eye, because it has the only tree on the golf course.
That's right. That's why it's called lone fir, this hole. And especially when they played off that short tee in the U.S. Open, 167 yards to the middle of the green. This is certainly a chance for a birdie coming in.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Looks like he just misread that. These putts keep the round together. Pressure is on to make birdies. Pars just aren't going to get it done, Frank.
Going to have to start aiming at some more flag sticks.
Getting set to take on the finishing holes here at Chambers Bay. How do you do it in the right way, Frank?
Well, when you look down this fairway, obviously everything slopes left to right. That makes this hole actually play a little bit more of a dogleg to the right, even though it doesn't look it. And then, of course, that green up ahead, it's like a tabletop. So precision here is absolutely paramount.
Well, those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway. On the green, and a chance for birdie. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
It's a good-looking putt right here. You might like it. So one shot closer to the lead with that birdie. Pressure's beginning to rise here. 17th hole of the U.S. Open at Chambers Bay. And this one, Frank, the par 3 will require a really good shot.
It's amazing how many U.S. Opens have great 17th hole. I think of Winged Foot, par 3, 17th, even Marion, par 3. This one will certainly fit in the same vein. It's named Derailed, and it will derail many a player trying to win a U.S. Open.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Well, he knew it right from the start. Just a poor putt. 10-foot putt left. And that's in for a par. Now to the 18th hole. Frank, everyone wants to finish in style.
Yeah, the home hole here, once again, you head back to just a wonderful view, and you realize that Chambers Bay was designed as a walk-in golf course, and it was designed to have fun and test every department in your game. 18 will do that. It probably gives you more trouble on both sides of the hole than any other hole on the golf course.
That's in the fairway.
Second shot. Needs a sort of miracle putt.
Yeah, that's a good putt right there. From that distance, he'll settle. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Well, very impressive and on the move right now. That'll put a wrap on our final round coverage for all of us at EA Sports. I'm Rich Lerner. We'll see you next time.